You're listening to The Breakfast Show with Ben and Liam. They're on your radio, and that's why you can't see them. So stay for a while, they're gonna make you smile. And whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're feeling fine, waking up to the sunshine with Ben and Liam.
Liam, I got caught speeding over the weekend. So I was camping over the weekend and I was coming home from Neil, just over the Vic border.
Neil with an H.
Neil with an H, yeah, that's correct.
Nahil.
Nahil. And I was coming home and a cop car went past me going the other way and the lights came on. He did a U-turn.
Hang on, how they, if they're driving one way and you're driving the other way, how can they clock your speed?
So supposedly, I didn't realise this either. I'd love to talk to a cop about this to find out, but I'm pretty sure, I didn't realise they had the technology to do this. They've got the speed radar set up in their car, so when you go past the cop car, they can tell what speed you're going.
I don't buy it.
Either way, I went past the cop car, he did a U-turn, the lights came on, so I pulled over, and he walked over to the window, and he asked for my driver's licence, and I gave it to him, and he got me to do a little breath test as well. And he walked back to his car and he didn't say anything else. And he came back and he said, good news is your breath test is all good. He said, but I did get you going 116 in 100 zone. Any reason for that? And I said, to be honest, mate, I thought I was across the border. I thought it was 110. Even then, I was still speeding, so no excuse. Copped it on the chin. I thought I was over the border. I thought it was 110. Turns out it was 100. I was going 116. What do you reckon 16 Ks over the limit is going to cost you?
I don't know. Is $600 around about the mark?
Well, I wouldn't know because you let me off.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he said to me, you've been caught speeding before? And I wanted to answer truthfully. I couldn't remember if I had or not. I've been driving since I was 16. So I was like, maybe like 10 years ago I got a speeding fine. I don't actually remember. I said, to be honest, I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. And he said, yeah, this is your first time. Off you go.
Ooh, I like that.
He was genuinely very nice, and he said, just don't do it again. I said, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, let me go.
And then when he said, off you go, did you sort of have the handbrake up still and start smoking it? Like just laying some rubber down, and you're like, yeah, watch this, ready? Launch off.
No, I was a good boy.
You know what?
I sat on cruise control.
What do you drive again? It's not a Corolla, it's a
Toyota Orion.
No one's hooning in an Orion. You know what I mean? That's an honest mistake.
What I was wondering this morning, though, 13-24-10, nice cops, what happened? Chloe, good morning, nice cops, what happened?
Let me take you back to 2020, peak of COVID. We're in a lockdown. I've just been broken up with. I'm speeding to get home to my parents. Didn't really realise I was speeding because I'm in absolute waterworks.
Yep.
I'm a mess. I've gotten pulled over. The guy's gone, I'm going to have to give you a fine. And he's seen I'm an absolute wreck. He takes my licence, goes back to his car, brings me a tissue, and he goes, you know what, love? Go get some chocolate from the servo. Have a good night's sleep. Have a nice night. I hope you feel better. I just wanted to give him a hug and be like, mate, you've just saved my day.
Oh, that's sweet, Chloe. I like that.
Yeah. Jason joins us. You had a run-in with a nice cop. What happened?
How are you, boys?
Good, mate.
Many years ago, we were partial to a good skid. Me and my brother and one of my mates got caught, and the coppers did a licence check on us, and they mentioned our last names. Thankfully, my dad, who just passed away 3 weeks ago, actually, was a well-known detective.
Yeah,
right.
They suggested they'd turn around to us and said, I suggest you boys go home.
It definitely helps having a dad as a cop, doesn't it?
That helps when dad's a detective, yeah. And aren't we all partial to a good skid? Two places I always feel old. The drive-through and the cinema.
Yeah.
Purely because the workers are so young, which is great. It's kind of like an awesome first job to have. I always wanted to work at the movies growing up. I thought it would be a cool place to work.
I could probably work that out for you if you wanted.
What, you know people in the cinema world?
I'm sure you could get a job at the cinema if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it's true. I could. I would hope at this point I could probably like put my CV in and maybe get some work there.
Points.
But I went to the movies last night and caught Don't Worry, Darling, the new Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles one. It's bloody good.
Yeah.
Like, if you get the chance, definitely the best movie I've seen this year. It's one of those ones I was just thinking about it all night. But anyway, like the workers there last night, they looked about 14, which is good because I'm always scared of bringing my food in from Woolworths instead of buying it there, you know, like the Maltesers or whatever.
Which I think is a myth that we, like, as humans have started, but you're allowed to take your own food in.
Yeah, I think you are, but you feel like you're not supposed to.
Yep.
But when there's like a kid in year 9, you know, you're like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to take these pods in no matter, you can't stop me. But I asked last night for a beer at the counter. And the kid sort of didn't really know what to do, and he was like, "Oh, sir, I can't serve beer. We've got to wait for Tony," because he was too young. I get that. He wasn't of age, so we had to wait for the big cheese. I don't know what Tony was doing, but he was. We were waiting for a while. It was kind of like, but I'd already paid for it. Like you can buy it. But
so he just couldn't get it out the fridge.
He wasn't allowed to serve it. Yeah, that's the law. So I would have just been like, hey, don't worry about it. But, so we're waiting for Tony for 5 minutes. I'm sort of like, okay, the movie's starting soon. And I was expecting, I don't know, a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
But Tony came out from the back room. He was fresh 18. Tony just looked such like he'd never done an exam yet. He wasn't even at that level. And he was super uncomfortable with the whole drinks thing. I don't think this guy had a beer. He was sort of just he was not getting really close to the fridge. I think he thought it was going to hurt him or something like that. And so we asked for a wine.
Yeah.
And he pointed at the bar fridge and he's like, "Oh, which one's the Shiraz?" I was like, "It's not in the fridge, mate. You're cold, okay? You're cold. You're looking in the wrong spot." He ended up he was trying to ask me what beer, and I was pointing at which one. He ended up giving me a seltzer. He's like, "Is this okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, man. That's fine. That'll do."
A lager. Give me a bloody lager.
"Is this a Shiraz?" "No, that's a cruiser. That's a cruiser."
There's a mum Liam who's taken to TikTok to vent her frustration at her kid's school because her kid came home with a permission slip to go on a school excursion. The bill, get this, $7,000.
$7,000?
$7,000 to go on a school excursion.
What could you possibly be doing?
That blows my mind. $7,000. We never did anything at school, excursion-wise, that would be worth $7,000. You know what? I'd love to know Producer Bell's thoughts on this because you went to a fancy pants school. What kind of excursions were you going on?
We went on a fair few, but I think the weirdest one we went on was we all went to just one of the rich suburbs. And we just had to walk around and the teacher was
and point out each other's houses. That's one of my dad's investment properties. No, that's my dad's investment property. That's right.
I remember we did actually go into one of the girls' houses. But yeah, the idea was, strive for greatness. And we went and looked at all the nice houses and you had to just jot down the nicest. And
that's insane. Yeah. Wow. Did you ever go interstate on a school excursion?
Yeah.
Did you ever go overseas?
We went to Canberra.
Yeah. You went to Canberra?
Yeah. Just to look at the museums.
You didn't go overseas, did you?
There was a choice to. Yeah, you could go to France or Italy, and
that's insane to me. That's insane that your school gave you the option.
I didn't go on them.
Do you know what one we did at my school, which I still don't get, is in year 10 we went to the cemetery.
To learn about death?
Yeah, it was literally the subject, and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll find out what happens when you die."
Yeah.
And so we went and they showed us where all the coffins are, where you can buy the coffins. And then they said, "Oh, go walk around for a bit." And it was just weird.
Yeah.
Just walking around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also imagine if you were trying to say hello to your mum or something, you leave a flower for a loved one, and then there's a
wave of Links Africa.
2 truckloads of year 10s, dacking each other and farting on each other. Yeah, tagging on the gravestones.
All right, strangest school excursions. Take yourself back to your schooling days and have a think about where you went. 13, 24, 10. Jess, what was your school excursion?
We had to go to the creek on our school property as part of science and look at habitats, but you actually had to cross the creek to get in and out of the school.
Yeah.
So they didn't take us very far.
So, yeah, right. So it was pretty much just that's a pretty lazy excursion, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Especially they're trying to tell you about, there's macroinvertebrates in the water.
Yeah.
You can't see them, but they're there. They're there. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when you crossed the river, a kid got taken down the stream or something.
Yeah. Would have been a better story, Jess, but hey, we can't always get our way. Tanner, tell us about your excursion.
Yeah, we went to the Speedway. It was really dodgy because we actually had to go through the fence. So I wasn't too sure if we were supposed to be there.
What was the purpose of the excursion?
I don't know. I still don't know to this day, really, apart from walking around near a lot of rusty old cars and hoping not to get tethers.
Yeah. All right, this is the break and entry excursion. We're going to learn how to break into a premises.
Sam, are you a teacher? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So is this an excursion you've been on or you've taken students on?
No, I wasn't actually a part of it. I just just know about it. I know other teachers that went on it.
Okay.
So not so much a strange one, but something that went wrong. It was the year 12, and the teachers got separated from the students, and they had to call in the emergency services to come and rescue them.
Oh, my
As in
God.
the teachers or the students?
Rescue the students.
Oh, God.
So they got caught a bit upstream, and they took a different part of the river.
Yeah.
And the funny part was, the students thought it was all part of the trip. They thought that was what was supposed to happen. So when they got found, they had camp set up, they had a campfire going and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're like role play. All right, guys, take me up. Yes. Hey, give me that silver blanket. I haven't eaten in 4 days. Did I pass? Is it an A? It's that time of the week that we need to get into our big debate.
It's a debate, a big debate. Who will win medallion?
People shocked all around the world this week to learn that Prince William has been knocked off his perch as the sexiest bald man in the entire world. Now that title goes to Vin Diesel.
I'm in everything about my baba.
From the Fast and Furious franchise. So we're having the debate, bold is sexy? I'm saying, no way.
I'm saying the balder the better.
You like them bald?
Oh, I like them bald.
Yeah, right.
I must say, how are you feeling about your debate? Because I feel pretty good.
I've felt better. But I feel like I've got a better stance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the best argument I've ever.
Undoubtedly, you have the easier position to defend.
For sure. So yeah,
Look, so mine might even be like a little bit controversial. Who knows?
right. Okay. Well, I'll make up for that with my bland as brown rice debate after yours. But
So
like,
do you
it's
want me to
factual.
go-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mine just sort of gets the points across, I think. But
You want me to
man-
go first and kind of set the tone?
yeah, you go first for sure.
All right, 30 seconds on the clock. Remember, you get to be the jury as well, so you can text us 0400 919 919 who you think wins the big debate. The sexiest men in the world are all bald. The Rock, my Uncle John, and Matt Russell in the Nova Sales team. Hairless all the way. And the less hair, the better, I say. I'm talking if Jada Pinkett Smith was an Olympic swimmer type hairless. And if Liam is saying bald men aren't sexy, then that means he doesn't think he's sexy because he's clearly balding.
I'm not.
Yeah, I understand that if I'm saying bald men are sexy, that must mean that I think Liam's sexy. And yeah, I guess I do. You're a thick hunk of spunk and I want a piece of your cake. I want it for my birthday. I want it for Christmas.
hell.
And then again on Christmas Eve, I want to kiss your bald chrome dome and then work my way. Oh, God, the time's finished. Okay, sorry.
Oh, gee whiz. Guys, I am balding. I'm happy to say that now if that is better for my debate. I think I've just always had a bit of a higher hairline.
That's what you want to call it.
Okay, it's a bit of a Macazem, but I think I've just had that always.
When are you going to commit to the shave?
Years away. Okay, well, here we go. I'm saying that bald isn't sexy. There just happens to be a few sexy people who are bald. You get me? Jason Statham would be hot with hair or without. The same can't be said for Benedict Cumberbatch. Without hair, he'd look like Sid, the sloth from Ice Age. Prank-ons. If bald was sexy, why would we have Ashley and Martin? Hair plugs and toupees. Yeah, look, if you've got a nice shaped head, you can pull it off. But not everyone's blessed. I mean, meat ripples at the back of their neck, not good. The weird bone that peeks out, not good. Having hair on the sides and keeping that little island in the middle, there should be criminal charges against it. Get rid of the island. Why do people keep that island?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, normally it's what it goes, both sides it goes, and
Yep.
you sort of have that tuft of hair that comes down the middle and the sides.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the middle of that breaks away, so then you just end up with a little spot in the middle, and some people just keep that and just and they think the rest of us are going, oh yeah, that person's got hair. No.
Producer Belle was in the studio tallying up the votes. Just quickly, Belle, what do you think? Bald man, yeah, no?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Well, my dad's bald and like he's always had a shaved head, so nah.
Yeah, okay.
Nah,
yeah.
Weird.
All right, well, let us know who won the big debate. Was it me saying bald men are sexy, or was it Liam saying they aren't, Belle?
All right, the winner for this week with 80%, Liam.
Yeah.
That was a debate, a big debate. We now have the winner.
Winner chicken dinner. Maybe it was just because Ben was hitting on me for his whole debate this week. Maybe he wasted a bit of his time. People obsessed with this new Jeffrey Dahmer series at the moment on Netflix. And I'm sure once you've binge watched that, you probably then went onto YouTube and Googled Jeffrey Dahmer interview. And there is one that I feel like everyone's seen, maybe even before that series, but it's racking up views at the moment. It was a huge interview at the time. done by an American reporter, Nancy Glass, who actually joins us right now via Zoom. Good morning, Nancy. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. It's great to talk to you, Ben and Liam.
Nancy, have you watched the Netflix series yourself?
Yes, I have.
And what did you make of it? Did you think it was accurate? Do you think it was a bit dramatized? How did you feel, being so close to the story?
Well, it isn't a documentary. Look, it isn't exactly accurate, but it's close enough. He combines some characters, he combines some situations, but other than that, it's kind of close to the truth.
Because you've made your own documentary on Jeff's life and case. What is it about him that encapsulates you so much? Is it the fact that you met the guy?
Well, yeah, I spent 2 years talking to him and his family. It was a fascinating story and one of the first serial killers everybody started talking about. And also what's fascinating about him is how normal he appeared and how terrifying that was.
Yeah, of course. The fact that he could sort of blend in and get away with all those heinous crimes.
And so can we get back to the start of how you managed to get the interview in the first place with Jeff? Did you fight for that personally? What's the story there?
Oh, yeah. Well, back in the day, what I did was I, through contacts, got to know his family. Yep. And after getting to know his family, they allowed me to get in touch with Jeffrey. And then we all kept communicating until I got to sit down.
How were you feeling when you sort of face to face with one of the most heinous serial killers the world's ever seen?
When you're in the moment, you're in the moment. It's only afterwards that you say to yourself, what just happened here? But, I went in there determined to talk to him and try and get past the facade.
He was also unhandcuffed at the time. He's just sort of sitting there casually. Was that ever a discussion?
No, because here's the thing. He wanted to die because he really still wanted to kill and he couldn't. But he was done. He was exhausted. He was depressed, but also he didn't kill women. He killed men.
On Nova 919, you are with Ben and Liam, speaking to Nancy Glass this morning over in the US, who is the reporter who had a sit-down interview with the infamous serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Did your perception of Jeffrey Dahmer change at all after all those years of speaking to him and the family and having those one-on-one chats?
That's a really good question. I would say that I analyzed it a lot. I mean, if you took things at face value, every time he said, I'm sorry, I wish I hadn't done it, what can I say to the families? If you listen to that, just on the surface, you'd think, oh my goodness, this guy's really sorry. But he was a psychopath. He didn't know what sorry was. He didn't attach to people. He had no feelings. He didn't have love. He didn't have hate. He only had desire, and his desire was to kill people.
How did you feel when you heard the news of his death, Nancy?
Not surprised at all. He wanted to die. He didn't even want to go to trial, but his lawyer said, let's go to trial and I'll get you found insane and then you'll go to a mental institution, which would have never been the case anyway. But let me tell you, during the trial, he didn't wear his glasses because he didn't want to see what was going on. He wanted to disconnect himself. He said to me, I should die. He slept all day and stayed up all night because he hated the daylight. And I believe he egged somebody on until he got killed.
Yeah, well, someone did him their kindness in the prison gym, as we saw dramatised at the end of the series. Nancy Glass, thank you so much for spending time with us and shedding some more light on your iconic interview with Jeffrey Dahmer. But we really appreciate you spending some time with us.
Well, Ben and Liam, it's a pleasure talking to you guys.
You know what, Liam? It is a great day to be opening up the forbidden folder.
Yeah, this is where we keep all our ideas that the boss has said no to in the past, just because it's not quite the right fit or whatever, but it's one of our favourite things to do. This is a juicy one. 13-24-10. Do you regret having kids?
Because everyone always says how much they love their kids.
But I'm sure there's some people who are like, I mean, I love them, but I did like it before I had kids.
You can have kids and love them.
And be a good parent.
But still regret that you had them. You can have both those things.
But no one will tell you that.
Yeah, people might regret their job. They might regret where they bought a house.
Yeah.
But they never tell you that they regret their kids.
Yeah. That's why we want to talk about it this morning.
Yeah.
In the forbidden folder. You can remain, in fact, not even you can, I would urge you to remain completely anonymous.
If your kids hear it, it's not great for them.
Yeah, it's true. Samantha, do you regret having kids?
So I have a 21-year-old, a 16-year-old, and now a 4-year-old.
Oh.
I'm starting all over again.
Yeah, that's so true. Because if you have like 3 in a burst, It's all happening at the same
It's
time.
At least there's light at the end of the tunnel.
but for you, every 10 years, you're almost doing it again.
wow. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're comfortable saying, do you regret sort of the last one, or like all of them?
I do regret starting all over again.
Yeah,
Like I was on
yeah.
the home step.
Yeah, wow.
Now I'm starting with a toddler. You know, I could have been relaxing, older children,
Yep.
but no.
Yeah.
No.
No, well, thanks for being honest,
No, Samantha.
Samantha.
No, that's what the Forbidden Folder's all about. Paula, do you regret having children?
I do.
Okay, talk us
I
through
do
it.
love them.
Yep.
It's more of the price of things happening in the world these days. My
Yeah.
kids worry about how they're going to grow up, and I've already told them not to have kids of their own. I know that sounds horrible, but
So you almost regret having them because now they have to grow up in this world that we live in.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, because I know some people are now choosing, they're like, oh, we're not going to have kids because the environment and that sort of thing, and they're actually making that choice for sort of the world.
But then I guess your kid that you've had, though, could be the change. I mean, they
That's
could
what I,
fix
and
the problems.
I also think for every kid you don't have, someone in another country is having 10.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, so,
Daniel joins us now. Do you regret having kids?
Yes, look, I think I may regret having 5 children.
So where would you,
Okay.
in a perfect world, in hindsight, where would you have stopped?
Well, to be honest, it was all good until the last one, and here's the definition of a capital W anchor. He
Yeah.
is a pain in my butt.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
right.
Okay, so you basically just didn't want your last kid.
Oh, mate, love him, but, geez, he knows how to push the button.
I do love the whole, love them, but wish they weren't born, but I love them. Andrea, be honest, Andrea, do you regret having kids?
I do a little bit. I think, as one of the other ladies said, is the toddler stage is, and also as a single mum, because everyone always tells you how much it is, but you just cannot comprehend it until you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
As in, like, how much it is in terms of, like, on the pocket, or just everything, physically,
Work-wise.
mentally, everything?
Just, yeah, everything. I can't even go to the toilet by myself. Like,
Yeah.
That
Yeah, that's
is
tough.
wild.
That is tough. And was it when they were a baby, was it okay? And now it's the terrible twos, or is it more just
Yeah,
when they were a
I think
baby?
so.
Yeah.
And, like, as she gets older, I'm sure it'll be better because she'll start going to school and I'll be able to, like, be a person again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at the moment, it's a bit shit.
Yeah, no, I get that. But then when you're old, they'll look after you. That's one way to look at it, Like, you're looking after them now, they'll look after you
Oh,
when you're
yeah.
old.
You get your comeuppance, Andrea, when you're pooing your pants. Yeah. And then the little one will have to look after you. That's the circle of life, baby. Hakuna Matata. Got a parcel that arrived on my doorstep. It's a big old box. I just assumed it was for my fiancée, some online shopping or whatever. She opened it up and she's like, I didn't order this. And was sort of going through it. And it was like she ordered a top from this particular store, but they must have just cooked it and sent her someone else's order. Here's the catch. It was all in her size, but it was like well over $1,000 worth of stuff. Like it was like
Wow.
a huge box full of all of this gear.
Yeah.
So I was like, score?
Yeah.
Am I right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like we're taking from the poor here.
Yeah.
Taking from the rich. It's a big company. And she's like, no. And like straight away emailed the company. Is like, I think there's been some sort of mistake.
Oh.
Taped it all up, took it to the post office, sent it back to them. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
So often you're getting sent the wrong stuff and it's like just not your size, or that's like the completely wrong order and it's like a bad outcome. But when they stuff up and it's good, just keep hush about it, right? Like
100%.
take it. But she was too honest. She was like, nah.
Was the company grateful?
Nah, the company don't care. It's not like we don't get like some sort of discount or anything. It's just like, oh, sweet, yeah, cheers for that one. I'm like, why? Should have just kept it. It was good stuff.
I had a pretty sweet delivery that wasn't meant for me. This was a little while ago now, but I don't think I've even talked about it on air, but I remember there was a knock at the door and it was the mail person. And by the time I got out there, they were gone, and it was a really big box.
Awesome.
And I went to pick it up and it was heavy. It was like super heavy.
Especially when you don't know, when you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't ordered anything.
Yeah, and it was addressed to my address.
Okay.
And I opened it up and there was just probably 40 bottles of wine.
Really?
Tons of wine, like heaps of wine.
And you didn't order it?
Nah.
And no one sent it to you?
Nah.
And you kept it?
Yeah. It was good wine.
No wonder why you didn't talk
It was
about
good
it.
wine because you know how you Google wine to see what it's worth.
Yeah.
It was worth about $40 a bottle. It wasn't cheap stuff.
Whoa.
It wasn't cheap stuff. Reds, had all
someone
sorts.
just white knuckling holding their steering wheel this morning going, that was my bloody wine.
Well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to send it back.
Well, this is true. This is what I was saying to Sarah. I mean, hey, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I suppose if they complain to the company,
Yeah.
you know, they might get their wine back.
Exactly. Well, they might get another one sent to them. It's not my fault that you sent it to me and I happened to drink it.
I mean, what if it was like your neighbours?
Well, then they should have come looking for it. I don't know. Well, why don't we do 13, 24, 10? Did you get sent something that wasn't for you?
Rodney, what did you get sent?
So I got home from work one day and there was about $150 worth of groceries sitting at the front door, which we hadn't ordered.
Sweet
So
one.
we thought we'd do the right thing, rang them up and said, hey, guys, you've dropped this off at our place by mistake. And
Yeah.
they said they'd send someone out. About 3 hours later, it was still sitting there, so we brought it inside.
Yeah.
Packed it away, and then about 4 hours later, they knocked on the door asking for it. I said, oh, sorry, mate, it's gone. Someone must have took it. So,
Yeah.
Well, you tried to do the right
You
thing.
did.
Was
we
it like...
did.
Was
And it happened to be my birthday, too. So
Oh, mate, what a little birthday present from Woolworths. Victoria, what did you get sent?
So what's happened is they've gone to register their car online and they've put in the wrong number plate.
Yeah.
And then it's happened to register my car.
No way.
That is a score and a
That's
half.
such a score.
Meanwhile, the other person's being arrested for driving an unlicensed car.
I paid it, I swear.
I swear to God. Yeah, well, I'm checking my screen here, buddy, and I can't see you paid anything.
Peter, did you get sent something that wasn't meant for you?
I got a life-size realistic adult doll.
Whoa. Now, Peter, you say that wasn't meant for you, but was that a cover when your wife opened the package? I swear I didn't order that, baby.
No, definitely wasn't for me. I ended up contacting a friend and she ended up using it as a mannequin to display clothing that she made.
So,
Sure she did.
yeah. Was it a blow-up number or?
No,
Oh,
it was a one of the big expensive ones.
Oh, so it had a bit of, it had the gel in it, sort of.
And Peter, what would that set you back?
I have no idea.
Trying to catch you out there, Peter. Trying to catch you out.
It's about damn time the love rat came in.
Yes. Hello.
How do you feel about, forbidden love?
I don't know. I kind of love it.
Ali got in touch, loverat@novafm.com.au. She needs some advice. She says she feels like she's been living a lie for 12 months now because she's in a secret relationship. She said, my parents are really conservative and religious. My partner comes from an Indian background and I know they wouldn't approve. It would cause a massive rift in my family. I'm assuming for like religious reasons. She said, my boyfriend is amazing. I think he's the one, but it's something I'm keeping from my parents and even siblings. Only a few of my close friends know. It's starting to really impact my relationship. What should I do? Did she come? Well, no, hang on. This is the stuff that you said you loved. You love forbidden love.
No, I said poor girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's the struggle.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't be open and honest to your family, then who can you be?
You
open
have
and
to go
honest
about it in the right way. You can't just come out and go, nah, screw you guys. I'm going to be with this guy. You got to, you got to do it in a dignified way, especially if it's for religion reasons. I have never hidden a relationship, but I have had a relationship hidden from me. My mum hid her relationship with her current boyfriend from us kids for a fair while.
Secret dad.
Yeah. Yes.
How long for?
Almost a year, but they were together for a few years before that, and then they broke up. And it's the classic breakup of, you were too good for him anyway, and he was crap, and da 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 da. And so when they got back together, she hid it from us because she was a bit embarrassed.
Because people do that. A friend of mine as well, she's been on and off with a guy for 5-6 years. And she was talking the other day about how, there's a new man in her life. And then we're like, who is it? And she was like, it's the guy. And I think,
you were all...
I think, well, we're like, that's great. But it's over again. So
there you go.
It always seems to be the way.
We've already got a few calls coming through for this one. Charlie.
Hey guys, so I actually was seeing someone, then about 2 months into seeing them, they actually went to jail. So my family members hadn't met them, so I kind of had to keep it on the down low for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was in jail for 2 years, so I actually had to come clean.
So you
eventually.
So you were with this person for 2 months. They went to prison, and then you waited for them to get out?
Yes, I know. I sound a bit stupid.
So,
But no, we're still together, and we've been together for 5 years now. So
obviously there's a lot of lust going on.
Yeah.
2 years.
Imagine when he gets out.
There's movies about that sort of stuff. Lisa joins us now. Are you hiding a relationship?
I was.
Okay, what happened?
Back in about 2005, I was actually working with my now partner, and we were seeing each other but had to keep it a secret because we were both married at the time. And then, as it turned out, we're now married, but there's more to it. Our exes ended up being together.
No!
Yeah.
No way!
Yes. So we,
wild.
Do you hang out now? Like,
Yeah.
what's the go?
No.
How did they meet? Was it through you or?
No. My
Just coincidence.
husband's ex,
Yeah.
out of revenge, ended up hunting down my ex.
Oh my God.
And, it was a bit nasty there for a while.
Yeah.
But, hey, look, they're together.
Yeah.
I've got 2 children. He's got 2 children. So we've got the 4 kids combined.
That's a big family.
So we're yeah.
It's so bizarre, isn't it? Like, you were with someone and then you left and then the person, that's
Also, like a weird play from your ex-husband being like, "Oh, so I'm going to end up with that guy's wife." And you're like, it doesn't really work though because he already left her for your wife, didn't he? So you can't really win that one.
Yeah, very true.
A Texas mum is going viral, Ben, for saying how evil Hocus Pocus 2 is.
It grieves me, the thought of exposing our kids to darkness. The whole movie is based on witches harvesting children. I believe whatever comes in our TV screens, they become manifested in real life. They could be casting any type of spell that they want to. Anything could be coming through that TV screen.
Yeah, what a kook. I don't know. I don't think Sarah Jessica Parker and Hocus Pocus 2 is trying to manifest evil.
It's a PG-rated Disney movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting kids into witchcraft. But, this woman's pretty serious about it. She's lobbying against Hocus Pocus 2.
She's genuinely crying. She's so upset by the movie, she's crying.
What do we do this morning? Strict mums.
Yeah.
What was banned in your house? 13, 24, 10? I had a cool mum, for sure, but she was strict in the sense that she didn't let me watch Pokemon.
Yep.
Or
Simpsons.
Or Digimon.
Yep.
Other kids were into that, but she said, it's a bit violent.
Yeah.
So I was there with my Beyblades. Whilst everyone else is playing Pokemon.
Was it because, Beyblades was as violent as Pokemon and Digimon?
I suppose Beyblades, it's violent gestures, isn't it? You're trying to knock the other Beyblade out, but at the end of the day, it's not a living thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I needed some form of rough and tough.
Yeah.
A young kid want to smack into stuff.
Yeah, in my household, there was nothing that I could remember that was banned. Like, I was a pretty free-range kid.
Yeah. Well, I also think, mum's a nurse and she didn't like and I'm a bit uncoordinated, so she didn't like the idea of me, skateboarding and doing that. So I was never really you were like a Simpsons watching skate park kid.
Yep.
Whereas I would, just be at home watching Veggie Tales. I'm obviously joking. No, we didn't watch
All
that.
right.
Rhiannon, strict mums, what was banned in your house?
Mum basically had a rule that if you had fun today, you weren't allowed to have fun tomorrow.
What do you mean?
If you went out with your friends, too bad. You weren't allowed to go out the next day, even if it was something important. No.
Wow,
that is nuts. That's just a whole nother level. Most parents is like, hey, get your work done, have fun, just enjoy life. If you've had fun today, you cannot have fun tomorrow. Because, Rhiannon, that's how the real world
I love
works.
my mum dearly, but oh my goodness, it's a joke now. It was kind of like, if you had fun yesterday, all right, today's the day to clean out the bedroom.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, Mum.
That's a tough one to beat.
Emily, you had a bit of a strict mum, did you?
Yeah, I have 2 scenarios actually.
Okay.
So the first one is I'm 21 and I've been with my partner for 2 years and we're still not allowed to sleep over at my house.
Okay.
That blows me away.
Yep. 21, you probably should be allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. And number 2 is when we were in high school, we watched Simpsons for educational purposes and we weren't allowed to watch it. We had to sit outside or go to the library.
No, that's so cringy.
Let's go one more. Georgie, what was banned in your house?
I had jeans banned in my house. I wasn't allowed to wear jeans because my parents felt it just wasn't dressed enough, so you don't go anywhere in jeans.
So you just had a flat rule, no jeans allowed in the house?
No jeans. We'd have to go to our school socials, our Year 8 social, wearing tailored outfits that my nana made in class and have the flowers.
I also love how, if obviously jeans are too comfortable and considered homewear, then trackies aren't getting a run. So you get home after a long day and put your jeans on so you can relax.
Do you own a pair now?
Oh, yes, I'm always in jeans now.
Well, that's the devil's work.
The devil's pants.
You're butting those jeans. Only the devil would approve of that. Ben, I got out-talked on the plane.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. As you know, I'm a big talker. You're more, you sit down, headphones in. Even when we have work flights, don't pretend I don't know. You try and change it while we're checking in so we don't have to sit next to each other so you can have a bit of quiet time. I get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I've met some fascinating people.
Liam's a real killer for if you do get stuck next to him on a plane and you're watching a movie, you can feel his eyes burning on your screen. Like, he can't not watch what you're watching. And then if he's seen it before, he'll do the old shoulder tap like, oh, the bit's coming up. Yeah, cool, man.
Just a good bit of this. Yeah. No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Liam watches you watch things so that he can see you react to the moments.
I remember, when you were watching season 2 of The Mandalorian. Yeah. I loved that show. And I was watching you I think that was a long haul. Were we going to Bali or something? And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to watch you watch all 3 episodes of this.
I've been on flights before where I'm like in the row in front of you and to your left, and I can turn around. I can see you like 4 rows away watching my screen.
Good bit coming up, mate. Yeah, just giving you the thumbs. In the past, I've met people who've worked at chicken shops, some really interesting people. Someone who worked at Dell Computers in Texas.
God, I couldn't care.
But this guy next to me was a nightmare. I mean, lovely man, but nightmare. Like he was a real sort of country bloke. He was from Roxby, and he was in Brisbane going to the dogs.
Yep,
going to the dog track with some mates over the weekend.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so I heard his life story, and talking. Even when I sort of like had the headphones in, he was sort of like knew not to talk, but I could tell he wanted to talk. And then if I had to go to the loo, we were back on for a fair while before I could go. Anyway, I'm going to watch some Better Call Saul and put my headphones back in. But this is how bad it is. This has made me realise, like, actually, maybe I need to shut up.
Yeah.
Maybe strangers don't want to hear from me because this is how bad it got. I don't really like the people, when you like land and everyone stands up and it's like, sit down, idiot. Yeah. Sit down until everyone behind you's left and then you can stand up, get your bag and you walk out.
Yep.
So we're on row 23, I think it was. So kind of near the back of the plane.
Yeah, the stink seats.
The stink seats for sure. And we're sitting there and, row 29's gone, row 28's gone, 27's gone. They were
going
walking
off the back.
They were walking off the back. It was all back exit. No one was exiting off the front. And then we're getting closer, and then there was like 2 lines behind us.
Yeah.
And then he sort of reefed over and put his arm on the seat and started this story.
Oh.
And we were like, oh no, it's our time to, it's like we're going to miss and like we were actually in a bit of a rush. So we were coming home, but we were like, had to get the car and go to a dinner. And he started going, funny story for me.
Oh.
So it was actually cheaper for me to fly from Brisbane, right? Cheaper for me to fly to Brisbane to Canberra, then Canberra to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Then Melbourne, what I did is I got the connection here back to Adelaide. And I was like, oh my God, what's he doing? And then I sort of started standing up and I was like resting my thighs. I was kind of doing that half, when you're standing up in the middle, but you can't actually stand up fully. He still wasn't getting it. He was like, yeah. So I've flown with Virgin before. And move, we gotta go. Producer Bell comes in. She gives us a topic. Ben and I have 3 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
To decide whether that thing is cool or not cool.
Cool or not cool? The actor, Brendan Fraser. 3, 2, 1.
Cool. Yeah, I think we all like Brendan Fraser. I think, because isn't it that thing, he was in Hollywood, and then I feel like, how there's always those weird clickbait articles about how you can lose lots of weight and like and for some reason, there was always one saying, the real reason Hollywood forgot about Brendan Fraser, because I feel like people still cared about him, but he just wasn't in anything.
He was such a big star in the mid-2000s.
Like The Mummy and George of the Jungle and all
and
that
then he just
stuff.
disappeared. I feel so bad for him sometimes. Like, the internet can be so mean. So he uploaded a selfie, and it was really, like, nice. It was him smiling. He was in his car. And then, like, people started making memes out of it. And they were like, this is how I feel when I'm going to McDonald's. And, like, really mean stuff. And then he posted that meme and said, I can see this stuff.
Yeah, and I think people were being cruel to him, but now he's had this resurgence. He's in this new movie with one of the kids from Stranger Things, and apparently it's doing big things at the film festival. So everyone's like, yeah, he's back, yay. And I think he's sort of like the people's champion, even though, like, half the people were bloody bullying him.
That's why the internet's so messed up, because the people that are now championing him are the same people that were teasing him.
Bringing the guy down. Yeah, no, I'm all for a redemption story, though. And even if I hate the movie, I'll still say, that's great. I'm going to go see all the Brendan movies from now on.
He is cool.
All right, next up, cool or not cool? The Arias. 3, 2, 1.
Not cool.
You don't think
What do you
they're cool?
mean they're cool?
Well, I mean, I think that people in the music industry work hard and they deserve recognition from their peers just like any other thing. There's there's real estate awards and there's freaking awards for everything. So why shouldn't they have their
And none
awards?
of them are cool.
Well, look, put it this way.
No award show is cool.
I'm not watching it on the TV, but I'm not watching the Oscars or the Logies or any of that stuff.
But do you think they're cool?
No, I think the Arias is pretty cool. Well, I think the music that's made here is cool.
You just want to get invited to the Arias.
I've been to the Arias. I don't need to go again. But
If you got invited, you'd probably go.
Oh, bloody, of course I'd go. Got invited to vote this year.
You get invited.
Wait, you get invited
We
to
get
vote?
invited to vote every year, and I always delete the email because I don't want to waste my
Well,
time voting in the Arias.
Well, hang on. Who deems you guys
Well, we're
able to vote?
We're flavour makers, aren't we, Belle?
You're not.
Well, I gave Amel and the Sniffers a few nods, and they did well. So I think I'm one of these big. And you hear about the Hollywood foreign press. I'm the Australian music scene foreign press.
You just want to stay in the music scene's good book.
Yeah.
It is not cool.
You do.
Nothing cool about it.
All right.
It's cool, guys. I'm
It's
here
not
to
cool,
Ben,
mate.
Belle, I'm here to say it's cool. That's just me.
All right,
and also my email is Liam Stapleton at Nova. If a invitation happened to come through for this year's event.
All right, final one. Cool or not cool? YouTube Premium. 3, 2, 1.
Not cool?
No, not cool. Not cool. How's this? Sarah, my fiance, was watching this video on the plane the other day, and I was like, how are you watching that? Like on YouTube? So how you doing that? It's just like a Jetstar flight. And she's like, I downloaded it. I was like, how'd you download it? She said, YouTube Premium. I was like, what?
She's paying for YouTube Premium?
You've got YouTube Premium? How much is that? $11.99 a month.
Oh!
I'm marrying this monster. Consult me before you get YouTube Premium. I think every time that pops up, I'm like, what a joke. Who would do that?
Why would you pay for something you can get for free?
Who's paying for YouTube? It's always been free. Yeah, there's a few ads and that sort of stuff, but I'm not paying YouTube to watch videos that people put up for free.
That's mind-boggling.
I know. But yeah, no, she's on it, for sure.
Wow.
That email again, Liam Stapleton at nova.com.au.
Ask us anything you like. Ask us anything you like.
0400 919 919. Text in. Ask us questions. If you think it will make us feel uncomfortable, probably better, because we answer anything anyway. Producer Belle, you've got a few texts there?
I do.
All right.
All right, first one this morning. How would you rate your looks out of 10? Ben, you can answer first.
So 10 being
the hottest.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
I would say 6.
Yeah.
What was that funny?
I just didn't think you were going to say
6
that.
is...
What do you think I was going to say?
6 is like... I think that's...
Do you think I go
very-
higher than 6
very
or
reasonable.
lower than 6?
Lower than...
Really? I think
No.
6 is... I think he's a 7.
No, I think so
you.
too. I think, Ben, you're a solid, 7, maybe.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
thought you were just going to go, no, 3 or something. But okay.
Yeah.
I reckon you're an 8, Liam.
Oh well, thank you. I know. We don't. I'm a soft. I reckon I'm a hard 5 on Instagram and on the billboards, and a soft 4 in real life.
No.
Actually, no. Hang on. Let's go a soft 5.
Yeah.
Mid-rung.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty middle of the road. Like, you stand next to some people who
Look,
are
if
actually
you-
hunky.
If you see us on the bus,
Yep.
you're like, oh, yeah, these guys go all right. You see us in real life, it's very airbrushed.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's
Yep.
very, very airbrushed.
My teeth have never in my entire life been as white as they are on the billboards.
I got literal wrinkles on my forehead, and I'm like 25.
Yeah.
Not
What
to
am
mention
I?
the acne scars.
Hey?
What am I?
Oh, it's...
No, you don't have to answer that. All right. Next question. What's
Such a loaded question. Hang on. Hey, that's not the game.
What's your bad habit? Liam, what's yours?
I think I probably care too much about FIFA, the game FIFA on PlayStation. So, I get a little too invested, and I get really angry when people beat me, and it's probably the thing that my fiancée hates the most about me. She's like, it's just a game, it's not real life, and I'm like, it's real to me.
Ben, what's your bad habit?
Probably picking my nose, I reckon. I do pick my nose.
There's also that crippling drug habit that he's been fighting for the last 6 years. Obviously joking. Yeah, you're a bit of a picker, aren't you?
I think, yeah.
I don't really.
Liam.
I'm a bit of a picker too,
You
but
are
I
too.
turn a blind eye to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you both kind of sit there at the computers just having
Yeah.
a think sometimes.
Oh, I'd be,
and I
I'd be lying if I said I haven't picked my nose. Like, I definitely pick it.
Yeah. You got to get in there.
Got to get it out of there.
I'd say no, Ben. I'd say your bad habit is you go on your phone when people are talking or wherever.
He does that a lot.
He just
does that.
tunes
A lot.
Yeah, unless I'm engaged in the conversation.
So never. Okay.
He's just picked up his phone.
All right, and finally, last question: are you circumcised?
Bit weird.
I know, but it's ask us anything, and people want to know. So, Liam,
Nah.
okay, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's interesting to know.
It
Suppose
is
what's,
interesting.
what's each their own.
It's nice to know
What's
that we're.
better,
It's nice to know that you and I are pretty similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
but we're different in that.
You
way.
know, that's all the radio bosses are always like, how do they people like? No one can tell Ben and Liam apart. Like, we should come on. Morning, Ben and Liam. Liam's the one with the willy that's not circumcised. Ben had the snip nice and early. You remember that? Good morning.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.